1971, 12 years ago. Recognise this funny voice and the funny jingle?
Shut the house up today. It's going to be hot with the chance of an isolated afternoon storm. 85, our predicted top.
On the go with 860 Toowoomba.
A very good morning to you. I'm Frank Warrick, and just in case you haven't heard, it's my anniversary, or actually yesterday was, 20 years to the day since I started in this wonderful media industry right here at 4GR Toowoomba. I've sifted through some scrapbooks and tapes, and I've rounded up a few memories and a few voices that mean a fair bit to me, and I think they will to those of you who can remember. They'll bring back just a few reminders of what we all went through, you, me, and 4GR over the past 20 years. Can you remember your very first day at work? Does it bring back a few nightmares? Well, I still have some recollections of wandering up to the desk at the old 4GR back in Ruthven Street, back in April '63, and telling the receptionist that I was the new boy. There I was, fresh from 3 years working in the bank with a head full of combed-up black hair and trying to contain an 18-year-old ego, which was about the same size as the haircut, I think. I recall that I started on all of £14 a week. 1963, £14 a week, $28 in today's terms. It was a big increase, actually, on what I'd been getting in my earlier job with the ANZ Bank. What were you earning back in '63? 14 quid it was. 5 days after I started down here, you poor listeners were subjected to my very first on-air efforts, not as an announcer, but believe it or not, as a singer. Now, I wonder how many of you who are parents now used to listen to or used to come up to the studio for the old live Saturday morning show, the Mites and Miners live show. We had the hour-long kid show every Saturday morning live. I mean, back in those early days, we had to be versatile. Had to compare the show, read a bit of poetry and sing. I was told I was going to sing on the first show. No volunteering, just do it. And I recall that it was an old Pat Boone song that I sang, backed up by Auntie Joy, who was on the piano. Can you, many of you folks, remember this TAB cross on Monday, the 2nd of February, 1969? You've got no idea how proud I was to be able to cross to my wife for the scratchings.
But right now, let's say good morning to the girls at the TAB race room.
They're racing today at Bundamba in Queensland, Canterbury in New South Wales, and Warrnambool in Victoria. This is Lynn Warwick from the TAB race room.
That's the way it was. I was so proud. And here's one of the old jingles. Does this take you back, folks?
The happiest way to spend the day. 4GR Toowoomba.
They were the very first jingle package that 4GR had. Frank Warrick here, celebrating my 20th birthday in the media. I started right here at 4GR this day in 1963, and one of the first people I met then, and I've regretted it ever since, and I'm delighted that he's still at GR, is the one and only Bob Marnie. G'day, Bobby.
Good morning, Frank, and good morning, listeners. Lovely to have you here.
I envy you a lot because you were working in the game prior to the sort of updating of the whole industry in '63 when all the steam wireless was just thrown out and we all went all top 40. And now you've been through the new era. You've lived through some incredible experiences and worked with some incredible names, haven't you, up here?
So, Frank, yes. I've seen a lot of changes, both, as you say, in music and
everything.
Every presentation. The only thing that hasn't changed is the races. They're still the same. They're called the same.
Same horses?
Oh, no, not the same horses. Some of them are a bit slower, but they were a bit faster the other day at the race course. And, but equipment-wise and announcer-wise, the style of announcing has changed, I really think. And used to do the kids' sessions and party time of night time. I remember once...
You were versatile.
All the announcers were sick and I had to come back from the Derby races and did party time. Well, that was a night and a half, right up till midnight.
That would have been a late night for you, Bob.
It was a late night.
And you're usually on the floor by then,
yeah,
aren't you?
I was used to be used to late nights then. I still am, really.
Well, listen, Bob, I'd love to talk all morning, but I can't because we've got a few other bits and pieces coming in. Remember this jingle out of the Ark?
4GR, the modern sound in radio.
Just before I go to a record, I've often been asked how I ever came to start at GR. Well, from early 1962, I started applying for radio jobs. I wrote to about 15 stations over a period of 9 months. 13 of the replies were the usual sort of knockbacks. Then, almost on the same day, I received 2 yeses. Excitement like you'd never believe. One came from here, 4GR. The other came from 4LG in Longreach. My dear old dad, in his usual cautious fashion, said that I must study them carefully and weigh up the prospects in detail. I did. And about 2 seconds later, I phoned Toowoomba and started writing out my resignation from the bank. It was about a month after that I actually started on air with my first announcing shift. It was a half hour on a Sunday night. That's all they let me do. And I remember the very first record I ever played. For that, you see, that's the theme from A Summer Place, Percy Faith. That was the first one I ever played back in '63. That was a movie of its era, wasn't it? It's 11 minutes to 11 o'clock now on 4GR, and here's something I haven't been able to say for years and years and years. Time now for morning devotions, and here's the Reverend Vernon Turner.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Frank. And mailing in Sydney now, and I'm sending you this message of special greetings on your special day. Frank Warrick, congratulations from Vernon Turner and all your devoted listeners.
I don't know what to say. I'm very, very touched. I knew that the station here had asked Reverend Turner to say just a couple of words, but I didn't expect anything like that, and I'm deeply touched. Thank you very much indeed, Reverend Vernon Turner. What a fine, fine man. It's 4 minutes to 11 o'clock now. Just before we go to a new record, the one that won the Oscar this year, can you remember before the temperatures became metric, when the old interstate forecasts used to sound like this? This was June 1971.
Let's have a look at what the weatherman's cooked up for us today. On the home front, a few showers, cloudy, cool, moderate southerly winds. Expected top temperature 61, and it's now 47, warming up quite fast. If you're off to Brisbane today, mostly fine, top of 65. Isolated coastal showers in Sydney today with a top of 64 if you're going down there. Canberra, cloud clearing today with a maximum 59. 58 with fine but wind in Melbourne. In Adelaide, mostly fine, 59. Fine in the rest. Perth, top 67. Hobart, maximum 57. In Darwin, 86. And sunny Townsville today, fine with a top of 75.
Those funny old Fahrenheit temperatures. Today, Monday, 18th of April, 1983. Nice to be with you on 4GR. Here's the Oscar winner from An Officer and a Gentleman. Welcome to the show, folks. Frank Warrick here, and 20 years ago today, I was the new boy here at 4GR, and they've let me come back very kindly to relive a few memories and bore you to tears this morning. Hey, how many of you used to be woken up in the morning to the ever so cheery sound of the Radio Roscoe Breakfast Show? Can you remember that? And Ross Weldon, he's alive and kicking. Good morning, Ross.
Good morning, Frank.
Hey, gee, it's nice to talk to you, Ross.
Good.
When were you here? What year exactly? What years?
It was about 65 through 69, I think, Frank. 4 years, yeah.
That was a long time.
It sure was. Not all the time doing breakfast, though. I don't think I could get up early that long.
Oh, but I have vivid memories of the Radio Roscoe Breakfast Show.
Yeah, it was good days, Frank. I think, radio's changed a little bit over the years. We did a lot of crazy things those days.
Didn't we?
And I was trying to recall a few last night. And I remember everyone to know Ian Leslie, of course.
Right.
An April Fool's trick, they came down, Ian Leslie and Bob Perry it was at the time. A few people would remember him too.
Mm.
They took over my breakfast show. They actually tied me up on air, and Ian took over the show. So we got our own back that night. We went up and over the Channel 10 news, and we ended up reading the news bulletin that night. So
great stuff.
Yeah.
Roscoe, where did you go to after GR? Didn't you go to Newcastle?
Yes, via Tamworth. I was at Tamworth a short time, Frank.
You did very well in Newcastle, didn't you?
Yes, we had a great run there. We ended up doing the women's show with open line type programs. And
terrific.
that's the best way to increase your knowledge, Frank, I think, is to do an open line program.
Makes you work, doesn't it?
Yes, as you've probably found out over the last, month or two, because
Yeah.
you started up there now with the open line segment. And your knowledge really gets increased in a big way.
But you're right out of the game now, and you're back here in Toowoomba.
Yes, well, the day my wife and I drove out of Toowoomba on the way to Tamworth and Newcastle, I said to her, well, this is the place that I want to come back to, and sure enough, that's what we did. That was my aim in life, to get back to Toowoomba to live and bring up a family, and
Right.
here we are back again.
And where are you now? Give yourself a plug.
Well, we got the Toowoomba Toy and Hobby Centre, Frank. It's next to Owen Studios in Ruthven Street, and I get the chance now to play with all the toys and that my parents couldn't afford me when I was young.
Well, look, Ross, it's great to be able to talk to you. I got a terrific surprise when I only found out a couple of months ago that you were back here. I said, got to talk to him, because you were one fellow I was going to try and track down, and you made it very easy for me.
Yeah, that was easy, not even an STD call.
No, nice and economical for the station.
Someone else in town too, Frank, is Gary Stewart.
Yes.
Was he here in your day?
Gary was here before I went to Double G in 1967.
Yes, well, he's now your friendly dentist at Wilsonton.
Oh, blow me down.
Yeah, so
See how all these blokes have done well when they get out of radio.
he's in the chair, and now his customers are in the chair.
Well, a very good morning to Gary if he's listening. He He paid me a marvellous compliment when I left for the Gold Coast. There were a few people said goodbye and gave me, I think, a Burko drink heater, a food heater. And I remember he said to me, all I want to do, Frank, is try to get as good as you. And that was terribly flattering.
Well, now he's earning more money than any of us, I think.
Yeah, laughing all the way. Ross?
Frank, just before you go,
Yep.
I don't know whether you recall this. I had some photos that I was looking through the other day, and you were the only bloke I remember on the air when an aeroplane hit a transmitting...
Yep. I've got something on that coming up between now and 12.
Have you really?
Yeah, if I don't run out of time.
I'll stay listening.
True. All right, Ross. Beaut to talk to you.
Congratulations on your 20 years, Frank.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
Okay, Roscoe. And just to make Roscoe feel really nostalgic, remember this old jingle?
On the go with 860.